from your perspective, how did the summer go, and did everything flow the way you wanted it to?
I thought we had a really positive summer. I feel like our offense has actually been kind of like climbing ever since Oklahoma State, Stanford. We had a really good spring, and I felt like we got even closer over the summer, came together and started to become a real team and a real offense.
How do you feel compared? I mean, obviously this time last year you weren't expecting to play, but you did. How do you feel now compared to when you first got in that mode of playing quite a bit? I mean, just as a player and confidence-wise.
Coach Heupel always talks about being prepared like you're the starter, and it's just so much different if you're not the starter and then getting thrown in. But now kind of take the starting job and have more confidence and becoming a leader and actually saying that this is my team and this is my offense.
Is that a natural thing for you? You've been a quarterback your whole life, so has that been a natural thing, taking leadership or taking the lead position on a team?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of just by default that a quarterback's going to be the leader of the team, but you can lead it in different ways. So I'm going to try to take it and lead it the way that I know best and kind of the way that my personality lets me lead.
Talk about how much better you think you are right now than you were at the end of last season specifically, and also your size. You look bigger. What are you size-wise?
225 now.
What'd you play at the end of the year?
215. So.
Can you talk about your progression and how you see yourself as a better player?
Absolutely. Going from last year, like I said earlier, not knowing that I was a starter and then getting thrown in there and becoming the starter and playing all last year, just getting all that game experience, going into the spring, earning the starting job, and working throughout the summer. I've gotten just so much better just seeing defenses and recognizing where I'm going to throw the ball even before the play starts. So that's a huge thing for a quarterback to just have that confidence. And also some of the receivers have played, offensive line has played. DeMarco's always been a 4 or 5 year starter, so just having confidence in those guys and knowing that they're going to get their jobs done too.
At what point during the season did you really feel you were in command of the offense?
Probably after Sam was done, like after the Texas game, just knowing that he's done for the year. It's a sad deal that he had to end his career like that, but after that game, probably knew that I was going to be starting the entire season.
Landry, that offense, every week there was you had to adjust things, players were injured, things like that. How much does that help you guys as a unit maybe grow up this year if you can get some stability and things in there?
It's huge for us just to become a team and have people who are going to play all the time, Last year we had to switch people from, like, Trent Williams had to come in and play center, which he's never played center. Just having people who's been playing, like Brian LePack has played guard, Eric Minsick's played right tackle and stuff like that. Just people like that, just being able to move people around and have confidence that they're going to get their job done.
Maybe the big question about this team, about you, is performing on the road. How do you think this team will respond to that adversity of being away from the confines here?
That's one thing that we kind of struggled with last year a little bit. We played great at home and then wouldn't play very good on the road. So that's one thing we have to work on through fall camp. We've been working on it in spring and summer, just becoming a team and becoming more mature, going out on the road and playing as a team, playing the way that we can play at home like we're capable of.
Does the offense feel different to you right now because of personnel? Everybody kind of being healthy right now?
Yeah, everybody's healthy coming in the summer with a full team, knowing who the starters are and knowing that they're going to get their jobs done and just having confidence in them.
When you look back at last season, what do you want to get better at? What did you work on this summer that you want to bring into the season?
For me, one huge thing, I had way too many interceptions last year, turning the ball over. So I think if I take care of the ball a little bit more, we have a more chance of winning a lot more games.
Decision making, or just going to your second read, third read? What gets better?
Just better decision making, not forcing the ball into tight coverage, getting it batted up in the air. So I need to make a lot better decisions this year and take care of the ball.
Landry, Coach Stoops and Coach Wilson mentioned your demeanor. You had a good demeanor last year despite the rough spots. And Coach Wilson thought Coach Heupel was very influential in that, keeping your spirits up. Can you just talk about what Coach Heupel brings to you, has brought to you?
He brings a lot of mental toughness into the quarterback room. Just knowing that if things aren't going the way you want them to, just keep plugging away at it and keep working. Like even if I throw 8 interceptions in the first half, come back in the second half and throw 2 touchdowns and win the game for us, that's all we want. He always talks about winning and losing. We don't really talk about stats in our room. We just talk about wins and losses.
You ever watched his tape any, either on your own, or have you sat down with him and looked at his?
No, I never really looked at Coach Hype's tape yet.
How about your receiving core, Landry? A lot of questions about that last year, a lot of disappointing drops and a lot of young guys. What do you think about your receiving core, the potential of this season?
They're going to be strong this year. I have total faith in those guys. We have a lot of people who played last year, so that was good getting them starts and getting them playing time. So that should be one of the strong points of our team this year.
What do you think of Kenny Stills? The coaches briefly mentioned him, but what do you think he brings to the team?
He brings a more of a deeper threat on the outside. He's probably one of the fastest guys on our team, has great hands, so he's going to be a deep threat for us this year.
Surprised you that a freshman's able to come in and play like that?
No, not really. It's just kind of he came in early, earned his spot. He's one of those guys that was already kind of mentally tough coming out of high school. I think that's one of the huge things for high school kids, just to change their mental focus from high school football to college football. So I think he really did a good job of transitioning into that.
When Texas played Alabama and had to switch quarterbacks early, did you watch that and think, been there, done that?
Maybe not on that huge of a scale, but I knew what he was feeling in sort of way. I didn't go in a national championship game, but he did a good job, and I kind of knew what he was feeling inside.
Hey, Landry, Coach Wilson said he senses there's a more sense of urgency with the offense. I guess I don't know what that means. I would have thought you'd feel plenty urgent when Gresham goes down and Bradford goes down. What exactly does that mean? Do you understand what he's saying there?
Yeah, I mean, we can't just take days off. You know, there's a more sense of urgency that every play matters. Every little thing counts. You know, little things make up for huge things in the end of a football game.
Landry, this summer you've done some things in relation to being the starting quarterback at Oklahoma. Second, with some things down in Dallas, some television appearances and things like that. A lot of them not necessarily relating to just what's happening with Oklahoma on the field, but the added responsibility of being the quarterback at Oklahoma and the things you have to go through. Is that something you have to learn to manage, or is that just part of the process?
I think it's a little bit of both. It's just part of the process and learning how to manage it. I mean, Sam's done a great job, and he's kind of laid out what an OU quarterback should look like. He was the #1 pick in the draft, but I got to learn how I'm gonna do things here and learn what's right and wrong. So it's kind of a process and just kind of picking it up as you go.
Did you enjoy the I am second bit and some of those things?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I always it's a great opportunity for me, and it always excites me that I get to go down and share my faith and get it up to the world. So it was a great opportunity.
What about the mental part of last year? Was Bob's worst year in terms of wins and losses, and we know the injury part of it. There's certainly a lot of reasons behind it. But coming back from a 5-loss season, talk about the mental part of that.
I think that's just made us more hungry to become a better team. You know, we don't want to be a 5-loss team. That's not what we're here at Oklahoma for, and that's not what this program has been built on. This program has been built on championships, and that's what we're working towards during fall camp. And hopefully that's how our season will turn out, and we got to work hard and take it game by game.
How much does the Sun Bowl help you guys in the offseason?
Do what?
How much does the Sun Bowl help you in the offseason as a team and you individually because you have such a big game?
It was huge. You know, we've gone a couple of years without winning a bowl game, so that was our first bowl win in a couple of years. Just to have that going into the offseason, going in on a high and not losing a game. So just keeping that momentum during spring and summer and going into fall camp.
How excited are you about the schedule, particularly the non-conference schedule? When you got Florida State at home and you've got to go to Cincinnati, it seems like 2 pretty cool high-profile games.
Yeah, it's going to be a great opportunity for us. Those 2 teams are a great team, and even Air Force coming in too. So it's going to be a tough non-conference schedule for us, and I'm excited about it.
You've been there and done that now, having to be thrust into that role as a starter. You got guys behind you. Coach said all the jobs being competitive. But he's talking about already another freshman behind you and Blake Bell. Talk about the guys behind you, Landry. How capable would they be of stepping in if, heaven forbid, something happens to you like it did to Sam?
I have total faith in those guys. Blake Bell and Drew Allen are two great players, and they're going to be good players for us in the future. And hopefully, knock on wood, that nothing happens to me and I'm healthy this year.
Do you feel pushed at all by them, or really specifically Blake Bell, because he's gotten quite a bit of height? Do you sense that? Do you feel pushed at all?
Yeah, I mean, coming to a program like Oklahoma, you're always going to have great players behind you. And Drew Allen and Blake Bell are just naming two of the guys. So they're always going to push me every day in practice, and that's why I can't take days off.
Coach has talked a lot about, and everyone, about your leadership has come naturally. Has that always been that way, and in what ways have you done that with the team? Is that more something that's happened this spring and this summer?
That's kind of thing that I've been working on. It's come naturally, and it's something that you have to work on. You have to kind of earn the respect of the guys once you step on campus, and then once you have their respect, you can start becoming more vocal with them and letting them know what you want and what you expect from them.
You picked up 10 pounds, but going back to spring, looked like you were moving better. Have you done some things to try to, I mean, you're not going to be a running quarterback. It seems like you're moving around a lot better than you did last season.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just been focusing on my speed and my knee drive, just becoming more athletic, and it's going to help me this year, being able to avoid more sacks and just being able to run a little bit better, running and throwing the ball.